work? Let's fucking go.
There it is, man. Podium.
Sprint, Ben. Sprint.
Podium.
Sprint.
Podium.
Why aren't you sprinting?
Trying to get a draft.
Sprint. I see this in my nightmares.
Riders ready.
All right, welcome back to the channel. This is it, last race of the season, back at CBR.
Last race of our first season, Will.
Yep.
Our first season, you can only have one first time.
Yep, it's true. And, you know, we did it, man. Made it to the end of the season.
Don't spoil this. I mean, for any viewers out here, Will and I both might crash out in this race. You don't know what will happen.
Oh my gosh. Nah, there's...
Yeah,
it was good results, but
we survived.
Yeah, we survived, thankfully.
Yeah, we survived. What a first season, man.
Yeah, it was. I like this course. I think Ben liked it too. This is my second time racing it, so
A little more clearance, a little more room for escape routes. It did not feel as sketchy as the normal as the normal configuration, or I guess the normal circuit.
yeah, on the other side of the street. So yeah, this is the Carson one, right? So it's just it's a quick, but it's just a pretty standard 4-corner crit. Slight little inclines. You have a kind of decent decline, but nothing crazy. So entering this race, I think Ben and I were both kind of on edge or scared, if you want to call it.
I was frightened.
Yeah, frightened, right? Each race has been more foreboding, you know.
Dark clouds overhead.
We're avoiding crashes each race.
Yeah.
We're due for one, right?
Well, I felt like I was due for one, and you got yours out of the way, but you went ahead and got a very nice looking bike with perfect paint, and that just angers the crit gods.
Yeah, got a perfect LA sprint, no scratches. So I was definitely like, I am not going down today. Not yet.
And I would normally critique you on eating wind and keeping distance, but I don't know, like, I would be incredibly superstitious on the last race of the season where everyone wants to podium on something shiny and nice.
Yeah. I mean, everybody has nice bikes in these Cat 5 fields, to be fair.
But you and I can't have nice things. I mean,
yeah, that's true. It's a fact. The moment we get nice things, they get destroyed. But anyway, so let's get into strategy. Go ahead, Ben. You start. What were you thinking entering this race?
Lazy. I'm going to share something personal. My relationship with my father has been strained throughout this crit season. At the beginning, he looked at me and he said, "You know what? You've got the conditioning. You can do this." But it devolved into arguments. "You're eating too much wind, Ben. You're putting out too much effort. This was a dumb move. I wouldn't have done this." And you know what? I fought him. But I said, today I'm going to do it the old man's way. I'm going to be lazy. I'm going to wait for that end sprint and just see what happens. So you're going to have to watch to find out how that worked out. This strategy.
Yeah, Ben was sick of the hero pulls, right, Ben? So
I was sick of pegging my heart rate for 30 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, my goal I wanted to be more upfront in this race. It didn't really end up being like that. I kind of raced this how I race most of my race, kind of just in the middle of the pack, taking the outside lines. I think there could have been better wheels for me to follow, and I could have ran a little smarter of a race. But I don't know. It just kind of worked out how it did.
I would say you're being a little too hard on yourself. I agree that you should be a little bit closer to the wheels ahead of you, and you should be more selective. But there's an incident that comes up in the last half of the race that really affected your results.
Yeah, true. But I was already I don't know. My energy definitely. A lot of this race, I think you can agree with this, Ben. It felt pretty chill for crit standards.
Yeah.
I definitely kind of got into a rhythm And there's Ben right in front of me, just a rider ahead.
Yeah, yeah.
And this was like, for a lot of this race, I was like, oh, this is pretty chill actually. But toward the end of the race, I'm not gonna lie, like I kind of lost it, and I just didn't have that like, I don't even know what you want to call it, like snap to stay with the field.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was still with the pack. But anyway, so yeah, I guess that was kind of my strategy, and through this race, you know, I think sitting in was definitely the move for sure.
There's another thing at work here that doesn't translate too well on camera, and that was the winds. So you have a grade that condenses the pack. But then on top of that, we had some pretty strong winds, not Victorville level winds, which you'll see next week. But still, it was a factor. And so I think really any time that you're eating wind over here, it's like equal to twice the time in normal conditions. It just beats you up when you don't have shelter out here.
That is true. There definitely was some kind of sneaky false flats kind of in this one. Like nothing was really a climb.
Yeah, but some grades that'll catch you out.
Yeah. Ooh, nice B-roll. Thank you, Dad.
Man. Yeah, thanks. Not so bad.
Oh, there's Ben's data.
Yeah, here we are. So this marks probably the last half of the race. And as you can see, I'm just trying to find the biggest people to draft off of. This is Clydesdale Club.
You were good at picking wheels to draft off of, though, Ben. Let's be honest.
Actually, to be honest with you, this guy ahead of me, he seems really strong, but he sketches me out because he's kind of moving around. So I kind of try to find another wheel. This guy ahead of me is my tried and true.
Yeah, he's a trusty wheel. Yeah. He's always in the front. So.
Yeah, he's everything you look for in a wheel. He's bigger than me, and he doesn't crash, and he stays towards the front.
Yeah, so cut a little bit more, and
let's talk about the crash because that kind of ended your race. So what happened? We aren't really going to see it, but you might hear it coming from behind.
Well, it's not this lap. Well, is it this lap? Maybe. Is this 2 to go?
Yeah, just go into it.
Yeah, I think this is 2 to go. So, in a couple more corners ahead here, there was just an overlap of wheels, and a bunch of people went down. My GoPro ended up, he kind of swerved out there.
Yeah, gotta be ready.
My GoPro ended up running out of memory, so I had a perfect shot of it, and I didn't end up getting it, unfortunately. But there was some really good shots of it on the Dr. Chocolate's YouTube channel.
Legal name, no doubt.
Yeah, chill dude. Unfortunate that he got involved in the wreck. So hoping he recovers and everybody else does. I think it happens right about here. Yeah, he looks back, loud noise. Yeah, I think 4 or 5 people went down. I was able to swerve around it. Pretty sure I got a flat when I swerved around it, like a slow flat. But, hey, my race had kind of ended at that point, right? I finished, but I was kind of dropped. But here's Ben, second wheel, last lap. Or there's a few riders up there. Or those lapped. I'm not for sure.
No, these are riders that were catching. So technically fourth, but a bunch of these guys are gassed. The guy with the blue and the orange sleeves, I mean, he was just in a breakaway, and he's still trying to push himself in contention. I see a lot of myself in this guy. I mean, he looks powerful, but dude, all of that work takes a toll, especially when everyone is vying for that top spot, last race of the year, and the peloton is right behind you.
So really, and I'm not saying it was a mistake, but I mean, they did that late break right there. You guys caught up to it,
and like the inverse of the last race.
Yeah, and then here it goes again with another break, and it's just
it's too early,
dude. And the peloton was just right there. I mean, you covered it, but everybody's behind you too. There's no separation.
I need to be more defensive here. We're coming up at the last corner. I'm thinking someone's going to try and make a move on my inside. That's what I would do. And so I'm thinking I'm going to try and cut him off on this last corner cutting off. But as you can see, if you leave a little bit of a gap, someone's going to take it.
Yeah.
What
and
happens?
Here you find yourself almost boxed in.
Pretty boxed in.
But
Little gap.
But
Little
look at that.
gap.
You see daylight. You see daylight. You say,
There's the
no, this
finish
is
line.
mine. This is
Let's
mine.
go. Oh my gosh.
Look at that sprint. Take that. That is second place for Ben right there. And shout out to
To
Denroy.
Denroy. Yeah. Denroy got that first. Denroy was the guy that I soloed with in our last race.
Which you see in the intro of this video. Denroy did a perfect line.
Agreed.
And he deserved that W because that was a perfect line. You needed that inside line because of how short that sprint was. I mean, you hit that corner and then the finish line is right there. And
I was really lazy. I think I ran a really lazy race and it affected my last sprint. I wish I could have gone back in time and moved to the left before I got boxed. I could have been, if I would have sucked some wind, I might have had a better chance right there at the end.
But I mean, Ben, you made that move, hitting that gap. You easily could have been 5th, 6th place right there. And you made that move and got yourself on the podium. So, I mean, I don't know. You would have liked to won it, but like that is a big goal. So, 2nd place for Ben right there. I finished in 20th after kind of getting dropped there after the crash, but wasn't a big deal. It was a good race.
You made it. I mean, we both made it out in one piece.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at the end of the day, I'd say being able to go and race again is a victory in itself.
Especially at CBR. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, especially at CBR. So what did you learn in your first season?
A lot. You know, I mean, I feel like my results really didn't improve much. I kind of just like stayed mid-pack, but I definitely feel like I'm a safer rider. I mean, I avoided so many crashes in these last like 3-4 races.
Well, most of the crashes at least.
Yeah, I mean, every race there's just something wild. You just really have to be on it. But
yeah,
I don't know.
Exactly.
I think for me, I need a little bit more fitness before I can vie for like really good, positions. I guess my best result was in Ontario with the 12th. Never really improved on that. That was my second race, and I never really improved on that. Everything else has been mid-pack or worse. So, but how about you, bud?
I think a lot of it comes down to the placement because a lot of people stay towards the back half of the pack, and it just breaks you down. I think you're working harder than I am throughout the race. And sure, I mean, fitness plays a role, but there's that. And then if a crash is going to happen and you're in the back half, it's probably going to happen in front of you, right?
Yeah. I caught a lot more crashes on camera than Ben did this season.
It was definitely good placement for content. I learned that my dad was right again, and there is nothing more bittersweet than that. Like at the end of the day, it just came down to this: crit racing is a game of strategy, and I came into it with a big ego. I thought I have the conditioning, I can race, and I can do it on my own terms. I was completely wrong. Well, anyway, it's the end of the season. We're both in one piece. We both have bikes that work. Life is good. To those of you that are watching, I hope that you have had the same luck. And for those of you that we have met or interacted with on YouTube, thank you for being an awesome community. This has been a really fun ride.
Yeah, it is. So not the end. We do have one more video.
We're gonna post Victorville. It's the race. It's what, like 2 races ago. Sitting on it. It's the state championships.
This Southern California state championships, but
the almost state championships, a very prestigious event.
Yeah,
tune in for that.
Ben did really good on that one, and that was a wild race. That was just a strange race to be honest, but yeah, Ben
the winds were so strong at one point. A petite bicyclist just got swept off into the atmosphere.
That probably would have been you if anybody.
there were. And anyway, look out for that one. Yeah. Like and subscribe.
Oh,
Will has set up a GoFundMe.
I'm not.
Nowadays.
No,
All
I
right.
try to make this a full-time job. No, that's it. Thank you
All
for
right.
watching.
Yeah.
And, yep, first season done.